organization Start Global and Start Summit with us. We have Ruben and Max with us. Thank you very much for taking the time. We know it's super busy for you, and congratulations to your great event. Very professional.
Well, thank you first of all for the kind words. Definitely means a lot to hear that, especially after all the work that's gone into this event the past few months. So my name is Max. I'm originally from Zurich, currently studying economics in St. Gallen, but it's become more of the side gig, and the main gig has become working here at Start and leading the organization. So my role is a little bit coordinating the 3 different projects: Start Summit, Start Hack, and Start Fellowship. And Ruben is the one who has the lead for the big ass event that we're currently running here.
Hi, I'm Ruben, 21 years old, originally from Germany, near Wietlisbach, and I've been super passionate about startups for a long time. Went to Berlin after my Abitur and spent 6 months there in a startup, early stage, learned a lot and got to know some startups actually. So they told me, when you're heading to Haskell, you definitely got to join Start, and so I did. And I was actually in the team of Max last year, and this year again under his with his support, and it's amazing.
And there's a funny story behind that Ruben, I think originally you thought that you were going to go into a different role when you applied for what then was called the relations team, what today has become the product growth team, to make it more clear, because back then there was some confusion. But I'm very happy that we ended up on the same team, and I guess this collaboration has been really exceptional for me as well.
Talking about growth, what is the secret of success that this conference has grown so tremendously fast? And when I'm right, you are the number 1 or 2 biggest startup conference in Europe, right?
Well, I guess it depends on what metrics you use, but I think definitely in our segment of the market, I'd say we're the number 1 conference. So the segment that I would say we're in is really the next gen of entrepreneurs. So really enabling people who want to become entrepreneurs to connect with the existing ecosystem.
And what is how did you do that?
The secret to success is a good question. I think we wonder the same thing sometimes, because sometimes it seems a little bit illogical or almost surreal what's happening, but I think there's a lot of team effort in terms of the communication. So working with the entire team to make sure you have some things like your corporate identity, your profiles on your
really
business
nice.
socials.
I think the corporate identity, the branding is very nice. Also the stage looks super nice.
Yeah, and then also like having the right communication channels, right? Having the content to produce social media content, also working with the press teams, and really also I think one of the key factors is having sort of ambassadors in a way. So people who say, I identify with the mission of Start, I identify with the values, and I really want to, convince other people to also be part of this Start community.
How much time do you put into this conference on a weekly basis? Let's say the last weeks.
Well, the last 2 weeks, I don't think I've gone to bed before 2 o'clock, and it's been up at 7 again. So it's been fun. I don't know, Ruben, what about you?
You guys are young. You guys are young with this.
You only live once, right?
Exactly.
And I would also say that's really one of our success factors, right? Because obviously we're just students, right? We're lacking a lot of experience, right? But we are really hardworking. I think in the end that's what set us apart from the other conferences, especially the other student runs. They're probably also doing a lot of hard work, but we are really dedicating our whole year towards it, and university really is, it does exist, right? We're still maybe going to one or the other lecture, but it's basically full on starts.
The learning curve must be exceptional.
Learning by doing, right?
Yes.
About when I'm right, so like your competitors, the other bigger conferences for startup, they're all organized by like a company or a professional team, and not by basically the target group, namely the students.
There's like 2 segments to this market, I think. So there's the student-run segment with things like Idea Lab or Q Summit in Germany, and then there's like the professional-run segment of Slush, Bits and Pretzels, those sorts of conferences. And I think we aspire to really not compete, but be on the same level as these professionally run conferences with the student-run team. And I think that's a unique selling point that sets us apart. But I think it's really also important, at least from my perspective, to see that it's not really about competition, but about finding your own market niche, finding the market niche where you can become the leading player and not trying to challenge somebody else where they've already established themselves as the number 1 layer.
Yeah, I think so. In terms of professionalism, I think you're absolutely top notch. It's very comparable to all the conferences I've been to. What are you most proud of?
I mean, I would say I'm most proud of the team because, I mean, at the end of the day, we are 80 people in total, especially under Max. My team is a bit smaller, like 20 people, and they have been putting so much work into this, and they're not getting anything in return, like monetarily, right? So just dedication to the cause, right? And them having stayed, for example, not sure if we should play it, but we stayed up until 4 a.m. yesterday to finish the conference, right? And to have everybody dedicated to this and say, no, fuck sleep, we're really going to do this now, that's just an amazing thing.
Yeah, and I think, it's a good thing that you weren't here 2 days ago, because then maybe you'd be saying something different about the production, but I hope the final product speaks for itself. But I would 100% agree with Ruben that the thing I'm most proud of is the team spirit, the team bond, and the effort we've put into this, because for me this is not just on a professional level, but really also on a personal level, on a friendship level. Being able to spend the time with these absolutely incredible people and putting together something like this is really a blessing.
How are you supported by the University of St. Gallen?
So in several ways. The collaboration, well, we obviously originated out of St. Gallen as a student club that has now become fairly independent but still maintains close ties as a strategic partner with the university. There is some formalities like that we get some credits towards our bachelor's or master's degrees for the work we put in, but that's sort of more on a side thing. So we have a lot of support in terms of campus locations, sponsoring. So the main stage booth, one of our main stage partners is the University of St. Gallen, and they're putting on a really amazing spectacle there with all the effort they've put in. And I think the third part to this is also just the open ear, that if needed, if it's a professor for entrepreneurship, if it's the dean who sometimes, you need to have a experienced ear, we can really approach them openly and honestly, and that's incredibly valuable for us, going through this steep learning curve that you mentioned earlier.
And yourself, you want to come founders as well?
I think you definitely want to, Ruben, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was also always really keen on founding myself. I mean, as I said, since very young, I've been passionate about startups, right? And if you want to work in a startup, you might as well take the chance and found it yourself, right? But to be quite frank, over the last year, it has been super intense, and also the market environment, we've seen a lot of failure, right? And as we said actually in our opening speech, when we probably started to learn more about startups, it was 2021, 2022, and I mean, honestly, the times were great, but now it isn't anymore, right? And it's probably the new normal, so it's actually a chance again to found.
Yeah, and myself, I want to do something, and I want to be an entrepreneur, ein Unternehmer, as you say in German, to do something. But I'm not really sure in what direction that means yet. So I try to think of entrepreneurship as being a very broad term that encompasses not only startups, but that can really encompass a variety of different things. And so I think I'm still finding my path a little bit. But overall, this ecosystem, this environment that you see at events like this is definitely something that I'm very passionate about.
So as far as we just can share our experiences and what we hear from our network, and these pros out of the startup scene, they say that right now is the best moment to start a business. So because all these, the markets, the financial markets, the economy in general, is always in waves, right? It goes up and down. That's pretty normal. The last 15 years, till the COVID, it just went up. The money was for free. That we all knew is a very strange situation, and one day we will go back to normal. And that happens. And
when the going gets tough, the tough get going.
Exactly. So it's that's correct, as you say. It's super tough, especially when you're young and you just know this time with like money for free. But I'm also totally convinced that for you guys right now is the best time to start. It's not easy, but it will be great.
I think you can be really proud of what you are doing here. I think you are already founders with what you do here and with the skills that you need to have. We wish you a fantastic and successful rest of today and then tomorrow. And we're pretty sure we'll be in touch with you in the future.
Cheers, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, big success.